What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to see Cody Rhodes, an audience for Cody Rhodes. Talk show again, just like previous ones been to. Paul Heyman, Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle, you know, all them types of things. For those of you who just watched my previous video, I was also in Manchester yesterday too for the WCPW event where Cody Rhodes was at as well. Took on Kurt Angle. So I'll leave a link in the description for that. That's my previous video. Yeah, today it's just the evening with Cody Rhodes on his own. So we'll be meeting him today. Didn't meet him yesterday because the tickets sold out. There was no point anyway because we're meeting him today, so no point getting two different tickets. So yeah, looking forward to that. Let's see how it goes.
The one, the only, the grandson of a plumber, Cody fucking Rhodes!
Wrestling has more royal family.
I don't think it's meant to be like something you like, if you went to a club and you wanted to like dance, yeah, perhaps wouldn't play some of the like the Ultimate Warrior theme or anything like that. But it's catchy. Wrestling music, when best, is catchy. And you always can tell who has like the best wrestling music in modern era. I know my wife just like stressed herself to high heaven because she just got her music done. And she wanted it to be as cool as Moose's music. Do you guys know Moose? Yeah, exactly. She just wanted a Moose moment. And she got pretty close. Again, I'm a husband, so it's like, oh yeah. So good. But it was pretty close. It's good.
And you were brought to the main roster relatively quickly. You were on Raw with Bob Hardcore Holly as your tag team partner, which sounds like the most terrifying prospect to ever be faced with. Who's your first partner going to be? Hardcore Holly. Talk a little bit about having been paired with him at the beginning and how you felt going up that early.
So I remember the call forever because I had started on Raw way too soon, like incredibly undeserving of a cable television role, but I got it, so I can't say, hey guys, I'm not ready. All I could do is try and trial by fire, get ready as I go. I looked terrible, my gear was terrible, my in-ring, like what I was able to do fundamentally wise was barely passable. So I knew it wasn't totally working. The stuff with Randy Orton worked because there was a story to it, but I knew it wasn't really working, and nobody in the locker room wanted to help me out. There were so many guys who shortly thereafter left WWE that were just, ugh. When I see them today in locker rooms and they kiss my ass, I can't not remember you not wanting to do anything, but whatever. I kiss their ass back. That's wrestling. We're lying to each other. The earliest days, he had set up this is pretty advanced at like 2008. He had like the Wi-Fi transponder thing on his laptop, and he had, I believe it was Skype at the time. Yeah, Skype. And it was for him and his wife to communicate, because on the road so much you want to communicate. It's the hardest thing ever is to maintain a relationship on the road. And I'm riding, and I forget one of my buddies is in the passenger seat. I think it was Ted Jr. actually, and before he'd come on TV. And Bob sitting in the back seat, and I was like, Bob, you want to sit up front? You're the veteran, please. And he goes, no, I'm good. And I can hear him and his wife. He's like, look, now I'm on a roller coaster. And they're like putting the like filters behind them. And it's this giant of a man, and I was like, that's cute, whatever. I'm just driving. It's literally a 40-mile drive to Green Bay, Wisconsin, which is where we were going. And then they're laughing, and they're literally playing with these filters so much. Like, now I'm on the beach. And then it got dead silent, just whew. And I'm thinking, they're done. Or the Wi-Fi's dropped. And I just look back, and I can see on his screen her face. And I see her just blink, and it's been 15 minutes of dead silence. They're literally just staring at each other. And Ted goes to say something, I go, no. And then Ted leans back and sees it, and he's just smiling at her. No joke, I kid you not, 30 miles, dead silence, and they're just staring at each other. And that was it. That was the one where after I just said, I can't. I'm not ready for that. I don't know what it's about. But that was the moment that I just, no more. Because I felt like now I'm going to be dragging him around while he's just Skyping with the world, but just staring at each other. It's a terrifying moment, terrifying. Good looking, he was in better shape than me, I hated him.
Okay.
No, I mean, that's some of the most fun I ever had in my career. There's a moment specific where I gave up on hating him. Because I was always, Vince built this, he used to call us his kids, and he built this camaraderie, but also this competitiveness between them. Like, there was once earshot, hey, Teddy, you gotta bring him up to your level. 2 seconds later, Code, come here. Hey, he's not cutting it, you need to bring him up to your level. Like, it was a brewing competitiveness, but in wrestling, I think it's one thing to compete with others, it's best to compete with yourself. Like, what can I do to be the best me? You know, I already know what they have, like, what can I do? And the defining moment with Teddy was like a few years in, really, or maybe a year in. Teddy really liked to drink. I don't know if any of you ever stopped by a hotel bar after any of the shows, and any of the arenas we did over here, specifically over here, Teddy really liked to throw down. And he's just so drunk that, like, his eyes are shut, and he's sweating, and we're in catering after the show, and he just, like, stands up, walks over to this piano, and flips the thing open, and I'm just watching him, because I've seen this, and he starts playing the most beautiful song I've ever heard with his goddamn eyes shut. And I gave up. I no longer, there was no issue between him ever. I said, dude, he was a real life Mr. Perfect. Like, he did everything right. Everything, and he could wrestle in his sleep. He was a legit, like, badass, so no one messed with Ted, so no one messed with me. Like, dude, that was the moment. I just, watching him, I think he played Jurassic Park as, like, the second song, and I just ate my food. Oh, it's so great, you know? I love Teddy DiBiase. He, apparently, whatever schemes he's doing, he has so many, like, irons in the fire, entrepreneurial, like, style. He doesn't need wrestling. Good for Teddy for that.
Ted DiBiase Jr.
So now, like, he kind of said, essentially, if you're disliked in the back a little bit, that's okay. Don't tell me that at that age, because then I might as well have been wearing a fur coat to TV. Like, I took it straight to my head. Great teacher for all his temperamental BS. Everybody has a Randy Orton freakouts moment. But when he brings you into his little nest, you're like his little young. He takes care of you. So my poor wife barely knew Randy, and they didn't have salsa one morning at breakfast, and she asked for it. And when the guy kind of broken English said we don't have it, you would have thought he, like, called her a bitch or something. Randy, like, slammed his hands on the table. What do you mean you don't have it? You get in that kitchen. Just like, she was so like, oh, it's Randy Orton, like, you know. So he's the best. I mean, do I have time for like a particular Randy story?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I'll tell 2 Randy stories, and if you repeat these stories, please repeat them in full, because he will text me and not be happy if they're not correct. And so my very first night ever on the road, I haven't debuted on television yet, and I am at the live events. I get a live event match against Davari. And I'm all excited. It's my birthday too. So it's my birthday, and I'm gonna wrestle, and there's thousands of people, and not micro stitches, not staples, massive stitches in my face like Frankenstein. And they're running all the way down my nose, and I'm supposed to debut Monday. So, which is terrible advice, because if I'm tan, it will scar. If it's tan, that'll help it heal. And stick your head out the window and get some air on that. Sure thing, Randy. So, going about 80 miles per hour, I stick my head out, and literally 3 of the staples pop, or the stitches pop, and there's just blood running down my face, and I don't want to go to the strip club. I don't want to go. And we pull up, and I'm thinking, man, I'm an adult. Just let me drive. Like, I'll go back. I'll come back and get you guys. You have a good time. So, no, it's your birthday, right? Gets out. There's a guy like, hey, you can't park here. He goes, no, Todd. The guy goes, what? He goes, Chris, the manager, Chris? The guy goes, yeah? He said we could park here. So he's just making names up and got it right. And the guy's like, oh, okay. We go in, and they recognize Randy, so they put us upstairs. And I'm just watching Randy like get a lap dance, and like no one's paying any attention to me. And I'm like, this sucks. And then like this one stripper just keeps like looking at me, and it's like there's blood running down my face. And she brought me a couple like cocktail napkins, like to like wipe it off. I was like, this is so embarrassing. The night ended essentially with Randy goes, hey, you want to see my best Brock Lesnar impersonation? Picks up this stripper, just in an upstairs, just like this, does like a half F5. And she like is screaming for dear life. She's like, no, I got you. Yeah, like he sets her back down. I'm like, what if you didn't have her? Like, what is the point? Like, why? And I remember in that moment, that's where me and Randy's relationship truly developed. I said, you know what, dude? We're leaving. And that became me and Randy. For whatever reason, he would look to me in moments of true lunacy. And I, in the triumvirate of the legacy, Teddy loved to party, casual, friends with everybody. Randy, we already know all about him. I became the adult. And I loved it. When Vince needed to talk to all 3 of us, I'd get a text, get your boys together. So that was, I owe, if there's any like 2 particular guys in WWE who I owe my like career to, one is Randy Orton, one is Rey Mysterio. Randy Orton, just I couldn't have it without him. Like I love that guy to absolute death. He's wonderful, and he's temperamental as hell, and it's just wonderful. If you ever get a chance to see it, just if it's not you, it's fun to watch.
I love the idea that people are going to go home tonight on Twitter. There's going to be a headline: Randy Orton F5's the stripper. We've created that tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I know he tipped her really well, and like she obviously didn't fall. Otherwise, it's not a story I would tell. But that was the moment, and we had many moments like that where, okay, throwing in ladies off the balcony in Mexico is different than throwing like small firecrackers, guys. These look like dynamite, and there's cops down there, so let's reel it in.
And you had a second Randy Orton story that you wanted to tell.
I mean, if I take two, he does this now on purpose, but he used to not. We do shows over here in the UK, and we have the worst catering ever, and it's not because the food over here sucks, it's because they try to make the food like we want it. So they make like hamburgers, like, I guess American style, they do just chicken, fish, like vegetables, no sauce, no seasoning. It's really bizarre. However, Randy, after every show, likes ice cream. And
what flavor?
That's where it gets tricky. It just needs to be present. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, the combo, it has to be present. If it's not present, you'll see him just get up. You'll see him walk in the back of an area we're not supposed to be in, You see a conversation go on, he'll come back out, usually the ice cream comes back out. If they don't have it though, it's the biggest fucking temper tantrum you have in your life. And I can't get into all of them specifically. I've seen a guy make him the most beautiful plate of ice cream ever that had garnishes on it, and because it had garnishes on it, he legit, what is this? It's disgusting. Like, and on the garnish one in specific, I looked at him and I go, what is wrong with you? And he goes, oh, the Shield guys haven't seen it, I'm just showing up. So if you're around, he loves ice cream, and hopefully every hotel has it at this juncture. They always get him the ice cream, that's for sure.
Just better for everyone involved.
Yeah, it really is. Like, just get him the damn ice cream.
Working with them, because they were, before when they came back in 2006, they just kind of worked with the Spirit Squad, and it wasn't really like, the Spirit Squad were enhancements really to them. But with you guys, it was more of a story. It was more about, these are two young, multiple generation wrestlers, and it's more of a story. What was the experience like working with them?
I mean, it's Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was my favorite wrestler ever, and I was blown away when I heard that we were going to do that at SummerSlam and that we might do multiple shows. They made really strong efforts in the first few weeks of us working together to get us away from Randy, make us a genuine threat. They're both at a level of just masters, and there's not that many masters at this. And I specifically remember, like, I always thought Hunter kind of held it against me that we weren't that good. Like, me and Teddy weren't that good, but we were young. I didn't think we were supposed to be that, like, great. But for the spotlight we were in, we weren't ready. It was a little bit trial by fire, but we put on some really wonderful matches. We took care of Shawn, and it was just a heartwarming experience to be in there with Shawn Michaels, even though, like, don't meet your heroes, folks. Shawn is just like Randy. It's just, he has his own ice cream, if that makes any sense. Yeah, he has things he's temperamental about. Still, though, he's the absolute.
Do we have a Shawn Michaels story we can tell?
It depends. Like, yeah. If you watch Breaking Point, I believe the one where Legacy defeated Shawn and Hunter. I like kind of rammed him on a super kick and it didn't look as good. And Shawn Michaels is about my height. At the time, he was only about like maybe 185 pounds, but I came back through the curtain and I thought he was Superman because he grabbed me under my armpits and threw me up against the wall to where my feet were dangling. And I thought, like, what? Like, where does this come from? Like, where's this strength coming from? And he just told me, like, that's my one thing. You cannot mess up my one thing. And after that, I never messed this one thing up ever again. But I remember thinking, like, I felt like a little child in his arms, like a baby. My feet were actually kicking. But Shawn's the best, man. He gave great advice because he's a rebel. He's a renegade. He waves the WWE banner, but he did it his way. Like, do you remember when Shawn came back with that cowboy hat?
Yep.
And the vest and all that? Somebody, I'm not going to name names, somebody rather important, came up to him beforehand. Hey, Shawn, what are you wearing tonight? I'm wearing this hat. Really? What are you going to do in that hat? And he got right in his face and he goes, I'm going to go get fucking over. And he walked away and I thought, that's the coolest guy ever. Just swoon, just the coolest guy ever. Yeah, Shawn's the best.
And then the end of Legacy kind of happened at WrestleMania 26. Right?
Yeah, we had just made a new t-shirt, never sold, super disappointing. I got all the boxes at home, I made sure I got them.
But it seemed like the end of Legacy could have been bigger, could have been more, and it seemed like they played out sort of every combination of you guys on TV at the end of a WrestleMania match. When they came to you and said Legacy's going to be no more, you're going to separate, were you happy? Were you ready to move on, or do you wish it stuck around a little bit longer?
Well, I think anytime you like evolve in your career, you think like, oh, it's the best day of your life, and then maybe in hindsight you look at it and go, ooh, we could have been together for a little while longer. I was just happy, the goal in wrestling is to get on WrestleMania. So I was happy to be featured on WrestleMania. I knew Randy was moving into a new phase in his career, so to be like part of that phase and to be the catalyst for it was really exciting. But I was never supposed to be in that match. The match was supposed to be just Ted versus Randy.
Like, that place came more unglued than I think anything.
Buffalo, the most un-Rhodes market we could be in. And they were so into it. We joke. Has anyone ever seen the movie Legends of the Fall? Legends of the Fall? Do you guys know that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony Hopkins at the end is like this old, grizzled patriarch of the family. He's got a gun in his big coat. He like flails it out, and it's this wilderness battle that takes place. That is my dad. He literally couldn't get in the ring. And I can tell you all the things that Battleground was supposed to be. Some people know. It was supposed to be War Games. That's why it was called Battleground. It was supposed to be me and the other Fired guys versus The Shield. And it was going to be something different. And then Dustin went and had that good match. Anyways, it would have been all those things. But what it ended up being is that Rhodes Shield moment. My dad couldn't get in the ring. And I was really worried about his knees. And he hated coming back as an old man. Hated it. He wanted to, like, my mother, she asked my dad, a few years before he passed, because he was getting sick, and she was like, well, what can I do for you? And he just said, well, make me young again. That's all he wanted to be. He hated old wrestlers. He loves Rick to death. He loved Rick to death, but when he would see Rick on TV, just shake his head. When he would go to some of those conventions when they'd get him out to do them, he couldn't believe what he was seeing because he wanted the people to remember him for him. And I assured him, they're going to love you. They're going to love you. You're freaking Dusty Rhodes. And we're going to make you have to get in the ring. You don't have to do anything. And the only thing he had to do was, he was like, maybe I'll take off my belt and whip it at Dean, And like his jeans were too big because he lost all his weight. And Jamie Noble was like, tell him not to take his belt off. Okay. Of course, if you watch it back, he takes his belt off. It takes a really long time with it. Ambrose is just flawless in how he's dealing with it. But we had this good match. But because of what he did on the outside, when he hits the elbow, it's really when the people stand up. When you have people stand up and it's not the finish, that's as real as anything. I don't give a damn what you say about wrestling, that's real. And he hit that elbow, and it's like I was watching Legends of the Fall, and it was his last stand, and that's all he wanted. He didn't want to come back and do the Goldust Stardust thing, and I don't blame him for that, because he felt so good about that. He was so proud of that moment and being that performer, and I remember him and Vince had this nice embrace after where he told him, Vince told him, it's one of the best matches I've ever seen. Yeah! Woo! So, see the penis? It's a good shirt though, it was a good shirt. But they were supposed to be crossed. And this part, it wiggled. So there you go. Here's to a Stardust penis, guys.
T-shirt.
So, I loved it when it was working. I loved the Star Room because they literally, one time they had, I don't know if people remember, there was like a blackboard where I had all these equations for finding out the cosmic key. And I just wrote everything I wanted to write up there. Like the flux capacitor is up there, Les Enfants Terribles from Metal Gear Solid is up there. There's all this stupid, nonsensical bullshit up there, and it was all mine. There's like a Zelda reference. I was like, oh, this is great. And some poor guy had to like redraw it, like because my handwriting is garbage.
We've already had the incident. How are you doing? Okay? Yeah, pleasure, man. Pleasure.
Heard that laugh.
The clowns in Manchester.
Nathan's just a clown woman. So guys, just got back in the room from an evening with Cody Rhodes. Amazing night tonight, probably one of the best ones I've been to. Some of the stories that were told were just great, and some of the stories he had about other people, Hardcore Holly and Vince McMahon and plenty of others. It was pretty funny. Good night. Like I say, probably one of the best ones I've been to story-wise. Told a lot of really good stories. Got a little bit emotional over his dad, Dusty, so that was a nice little emotional moment. But yeah, it was a great show. Really enjoyed it. Pleasure meeting him. So yeah, that's about it really. Just ending the vlog. It's been a really good night. Been a good weekend. WCPW Saturday night. That was good. Brilliant show. And then Cody Rhodes' show tonight, so it's been a good weekend now. So it's bedtime and then travelling back home tomorrow morning. So thanks for watching once again guys. If you like the video, give it a good thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again in the future for another video, and I'll see you later.